ఇంట్రడక్షన్ మనకి ఇదేమి. సో నమస్తే భాయ్. ఆ, మనకి ఐకేఎస్ అని నేను ఇవాళ విషయం తీసుకున్నాను. కారణం ఏంటి అంటే ఇండియన్ నాలెడ్జ్ సిస్టమ్ మన అర్థశాస్త్ర సిరీస్ కి ఇది కూడా రిలేటివే, ఏదో కంప్లీట్ గా నాట్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ద పిక్చర్. అర్థశాస్త్రంకు మనకి ఇప్పుడు ఐకేఎస్ లో చాలా ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఇచ్చారని మీరు చెప్పారు, మనకు తెలుస్తోంది కూడా. ఇండియన్ నాలెడ్జ్ సిస్టమ్స్ ఓ 20 ఏళ్ల క్రితమే దీన్ని గురించినటువంటి సెమినార్ షిమ్లాలో జరిగింది. ఐ వాజ్ ఇన్వైటెడ్ టు డెలివర్ లెక్చర్ ఆన్ అర్థశాస్త్ర ఓన్లీ. అంటే దిస్ ఇస్ నాట్ ఎ న్యూ ఎఫర్ట్, ఇట్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ గోయింగ్ ఆన్ సిన్స్ decades. Still it is not that popular. And now fortunately entire education system, that means the authorities of education system, they wanted to introduce in all the universities, institutes. As a part of that, academy is granted, as you know, you told me, MAIKS and this MAIKS and that academy and St. Joseph College in Hyderabad. They are doing in collaboration, it seems. So the Joseph College invited me to give a lecture on commerce and management with reference to Kautilya's Arthashastra. Because of their demand, of course, I went with the same material to that place. Just I started the lecture. That is introduction of Arthashastra. What is the meaning of Artha? All this you have already heard. Manushyanam, Vrittirartha, etc., etc. Immediately some from management in the sense vice principal or somebody, I don't know, but the staff who has invited me, they were told madam, they were addressing her. Then she stood up and she asked me, madam, everyone is coming, giving lectures, and of course they are going. And the students listening to that, and after going home, they are forgetting. Now, my question to you is, how can we reconnect this Indian knowledge system, this Sanskrit text, to our curriculum? This is the question raised by her, which is quite appropriate. Others, of course, they felt, what is this? She is interfering, she is disturbing me. But I took it as with open mind, because the question is genuine. The purpose of IK is also the same, because it should be taught in the curriculum. That is the main purpose of introducing Indian knowledge system. Okay. So how to reconnect, she asked. Then, leaving that main topics, commerce and management aside, I just took over to the topic explaining how IKS is relevant. First of all, as you have already studied this Arthashastra, I took the help of Arthashastra only. First, whatever I told there, almost I'm repeating the same. I told them actually knowledge system, Indian knowledge system. So knowledge system means what? Once so many times we had discussions also. So knowledge, the source of knowledge. And as you have been studying, I think you have gone through, I believe, that there are Vidya Sthanani, Chaturdasha, Ashtadasha, etc. Even Santosh also has brought a book a book on Puranas. According to Purana, so and so Purana, so and so Purana, the Vidyas are 14, Vidyas are 18, like that. So that means again, when you come to that, they simply say, as Kautilya mentions, Anvichikitrayi Varta Dandaniti, and also Itihasa Purana Kautilya also mentions, they say Veda along with Vedangas, 6 and 4, 10, like that they go on calculating. So Itihasa Purana also added. That way 14, the number comes like this. So Vidya Sthanani Chaturdasha or Vidya Sthanani Ashtadasha means Vidya I had already explained you with the help of Kamandakas Nitisara also. I told with he has got 4 meanings in 4 ganas. I told you. It must be in the our these recordings also. So with vidyate, with vinte, with veti, and vidulabhe, vindati. So these 4 are there. That means vidya means that with which people get benefit, with which they get knowledge, with which the existence is revealed, sattayam, with the sattayam. So, and also with the profit. Labha is, of course, one of our purpose. So, like this, Vidya is explained, Vidya term is defined with the help of grammar, as I told you, with the derivatory meaning by Acharya Kautilya, Kamandak also. Then later on, Puranas, etc., mentioned Vidya Sthanani. Every time Vidya, and Vidyate, you have seen Vidyate, Vindati, and also Veti, Vinte. Vinte Vicharade, that is also there in our records. Okay. Now, the Vidya means actually education we are talking. Education means knowledge system. So now we are coming back to Arthashastra. That Vidyasthanani, when he has explained, it means to say that education system. So the structure of education, if we look at, it is like, fourfold. Kautilya has, again, I redefined to that audience there. So, Anvichiki, Trayi, Varta, Dandaniti, which already we have studied in Arthashastra. There again, which already explained by me, actually, Anvichiki means now science, science, science. Now, what we have to do is we have to pick up the scientific term from these 4 branches. Okay. Well, let us first take from Anvikshiki. I already been, it is Tattva Shastra. So Tattva Shastra, if we go to Vedanta, Vedanta is not mentioned in Shastra by Acharya Kautilya. Vedanta is, as you know, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa, that is Mimamsa. It is a concern. It is about yajnas, yajnayagas, or Nitya Naimittika karmas, to take in that way. And if you take only Tattva Shastra, there is a difference between Tattva Shastra. Tattva Shastra is actual philosophy, that is jijnasa to know something. That is the reason Ramachandra sir has written a book in Sanskrit regarding Western philosophy. First, he wanted to give the title Paschatya Vedanta Shastra, etc. But he just, he is such a great person. So he made his mind to give the title Paschatya Tattva Shastra Itihasa because there is no Vedanta in their philosophy. I think you follow. So Vedanta is there only, it is only to our Indian literature only, Vedic. Because even Nastika Darshanas, they are Darshanas, no doubt, Buddha, Charvaka, Jaina, etc. But they come under Tattva Shastra, not Vedanta. Okay. And all remaining Astika Darshanas also, as you know, Sankhya, etc., they don't talk about Ishvara, as you know. So these are the things, in fact. That is the reason when we take Anvikshiki, automatically in that Tattva Shastra. So Tattva Shastra, if you take, you have studied in MA, Tarka Bhasha you have studied. So Tarka is, of course, it is taught by someone, but in fact, when I taught, I teach, Tarka is nothing but, Tarka deals with physics. You take five elements, five Panchabhutas, and what are their specific qualities, like Gandhavati, Prithvi, etc., etc. Every matter is scientific. If you really go Gurtvakarshana and what is Adya Syandana Karanam, Adya Patana Karanam, all these are there in Tarka. Tarka Bhasha and Tarka Sangraha is there. Tarka is a byproduct of Nyaya and Vaisheshika. So this way, in fact, Prithvi Tattva, Vayu Tattva, anything if you take, Akasha Tattva, Shabda Gunam, I'm not going to teach you entire Tattva Shastra or anything, yeah, but I am just, today I am opening the door or opening the window to get the fresh breeze, okay? So that way, first of all, when you take Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, it is told by our Acharya Kautilya. So Sankhya, Yoga, Lokayatanam, etc. He said. So Sankhya means Sankhya, Yoga. They are always, this Dalam, they say. That is a couplet we say, Dvandva. Two are there. Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika. They got some similarities. And Mimamsa and Vedanta. Okay. These six are primarily our Astika Darshanas, we say. Because they believe in, like, Veda is there. And they, even if they don't talk about Ishvara. And you have seen Sankhya, you have studied Sankhya also tells about you, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo Guna, the psychology. Actually, any philosophy has got as for a component that subject psychology. Always psychology is part of philosophy. Unless we know our psychology, we cannot balance our thoughts or anything. Okay. Similarly, when you teach somebody, then also you should know the psychology. So, psychology is purely science. We have entire universe accepted, and also now psychology is given most importance in our entire education system. So, the psychology is already there, Indian knowledge system, that is related in all the darshanas, and that is much needed. And now yoga, they say. Yoga is actually people are doing Kriya Yoga. But they are not bothered about Chittavrutti Nirodha, anything but our really practical yoga, Patanjali Yoga. If we take how Yama, Niyama, etc., etc., this is a part of science. It is a brief introduction about Anviksha. And try how it is the source of knowledge. You know, Vedas, three Vedas, already I told on many occasions. So, Rig Veda is the collection of all the rigs, all the hymns, mantras. And the Yajurveda is, in which the ritual, the rigs are separated, which are used in the performance. And Yajurveda is explained by its Brahmana, etc. And there again, what type of material is to be offered into the fire for which god, which deity, etc. It is there. And also Arthasangraha. So many times I told about that also, and you must be having a net also, it was there. I don't know now it is there or not. It's a different issue. So there, Mimamsa also deals with the totally Yajurveda. Now let us come to Yajurveda. Rigveda is collection. Yajurveda is about Yajna. That yajna geometry, geometry word has come from that only. Jya means actually that what we say, jya, the string of the bow. The string is called jya. And survey people, they hold a string to survey. Miti means that is measurement. Miti is not so much of commonality is there in English words and Sanskrit words. Miti is mana, that's measurement. So Jamiti, that Jamiti is there. How many bricks are needed for this sacred altars? So all this is there, and how to dig the Garapatya Agni and this uh, Dakshinagni, Ahavaniya, etc. All this is described. Actually, Ajurveda has got. So Ajurveda is also deals with Shilpa Sutras, etc. All Vedic literature only deals with science. Okay, wonderful science. How many actually a civil engineer? I don't know whether he is able to do that or not. But a Purohita can tell you how many bricks are needed to construct the dayas, Shena Yaga, etc., etc. And also, if you just consult the priests, a particular priest for Upanayana, a different type of altar, for Vivaha, a different type of altar, all these are there. So, this is there. How it should be, and what type of spoons are to be used. And you don't know really, you don't know. Sorry if I say you don't know, but we should know, I must say, because I am just thinking that I am in the class. I am not in the class. I am in front of intellectuals. So actually, they say palasha, that a spoon, a ladder. I mean that is what we say, a small spoon with which curd will be cut. That should be made of palasha. They say palasha means the మనము మోదుగా అంటాం కదా మోదుగా దట్ ఈస్ పలాష. And in Telangana region, we don't get banana leaves. So that a moduga leaves only, palasha leaves only, with the palasha leaves we made that plates. Okay. That means eating in palasha is very good. So putting curd also very good. This is science. And in a different way, in a Stuti, Arthavada, it is explained in that. Okay, Yajurveda. Samaveda, as you know, music, and music also the source of those sounds. It is explained different animals, animal sounds. It has come, etc. They say, and music is also a science, that is therapy. Even animals give milk by listening to the music. They say, and also the trees, etc. So a lot of research is done. This is try. And another thing, in the Rig Veda only, or I mean in the Trai only, Veda only, there is a beautiful discussion, as you know, Bhumi Sukta. Without that, engineering works don't take place at all. So Bhumi Sukta is there. In that description of Bhumi will be there. Vriksha Shastra. So how many types of vrikshas, how they are everywhere, and astronomy is there, physics is there, sun rays are described. We think that it is only sukta, it is only praise. No, not at all. If you read Agnivele Purohitam, you will find all the characteristics of fire. For example, blue, they say. Blue we see in a welding, when a welding, that is machines, etc. When they welding going on, blue flame comes. Even in our gas stove, blue flame comes. And red, orange flame comes. So all this, if you observe. Similarly, if you go for Nadi Sukta, Nadi, how it flows, how it is, that is there. And Varuna, anything if you apply, that way Veda is really source of entire knowledge system. Astronomy is there, everything is there. So that is the reason Traya, they says Traya, everything, Jnana is available. But now people think that how Vedas only Ghana parties, they of course that is human computers. They are human computers. Everything is recorded in their brains and it is kept preserved. And they many of the pandits like Ghana parties etc. Uh, in modern days, not ancient days, I mean, they know only like by heart they know, but meaning means Vedic language is slightly different from our Sanskrit language. So if they have not studied Sanskrit grammar, etc., Vedic grammar, they don't understand the meaning. But in what way they are useful means they are readily available computers. Whatever you want, like this, if you just log into that, then you will get everything. So that way that is preserved by gurus. Gurus, what they have done to preserve the Vedic tradition, they kept that because of foreigners, invasions, etc. So that way Veda is source of knowledge. Try. And Varta, that is the only science we are connecting, and we are thinking that Arthasastra deals with only. Yesterday also I asked them, what do you think? What is the meaning of Arthashastra? What do you think? In general, people, what do they think about it? Everyone told economics and like a commerce, etc. I said no. Arthashastra describes everything. Actually, how many topics are discussed, that is, of course, later on. And I come to that also. So, Varta means Vartate Anaya. This is also explained, studied by us. Okay. Vartate Anaya is the sustenance, whatever is there, agriculture or business or like, cooking also now, catering is there. It is also profession. Vartate Anaya iti Varta. Any sort of business means actually, if you really think entire world procedure, beginning with the mother, father, parents, and also life partners. You take anywhere, everything. If don't misunderstand me, everywhere give and take. It is in terms. It is nothing but like business. Business means also another thing, engaging, isn't it? And keeping busy, we say. So that means everywhere give and take, give and take. That is sale and purchase we are talking. Sale and purchase means actually sale and purchase term has come kraya vikraya. That is, like, taking early. Barter system was there. You give, like, you give sugar and I give good. Like this, it is there. So take tuvar dal and give me rice. Like this barter system is there. So similarly, export import. Why we are calling whatever we don't have, we are getting really imported from other countries, and whatever we produce excess and whatever is really wanted by other countries, we are exporting. So this way, import export is there. So all this, though the producers, that means the not film producers, those who product these products, manufacturing, like, whether it is vessels or grains or anything, they have to sell it, and also they have to buy other things for the agriculture. So this way, Krushi, Pashupalana and Vanijya cha Varta, it is explained by Kautilya. Agriculture, is it not science? Agriculture university is there in our Hyderabad. And you know how much of research going on. Why every day diabetes, take this rice, take that rice, take. Every day YouTube, it is full of all these advertisements, isn't it? So that means what? That is actually Krishi. Agriculture is science, accepted, because it gives life to all the people, even to animals. The rice we take, the grass animals take. So what not? That means each part is ra- that is dried grass, cowsets are dried, and that is green ones, the deers, etc. eat that way, Krishi. And Pashupalana, animal husbandry. At least now these people are, feeding them whatnot, and festivals are, with these hens and also the cocks, the races are going on. With buffaloes, it is going on. With oxen, it is going on. But how to rear the animals? Is it not science? Animal husbandry is science, because veterinary doctor is scientist. So this Pashupalanam is explained in the Sanskrit means there are so many books explaining Ashwashastra, explaining Gajashastra, explaining other things, and also these cows, etc. So is it not science for us? Krishi, Pashupalanam, and sale and trade, it is directly commerce. Commerce means sale and purchase, isn't it? So this way already these terms are accepted by our modern people also. Commerce, yes, commerce is required, but in commerce also there is a science, there is knowledge. Knowledge system means weights, measures, and how to prepare balances. So all this is there in commerce chapter. You take any commerce book, anything, weights and measures, it is an important department. And then finally coming, Dandaniti, Kautilya says. Dandaniti means actually, that is, Dandaniti means which controls entire universe, that is a discipline, scepter, a rod of discipline. Okay. And that is, we can say, administration, law and order, judicial system, and public administration, they say. Econo- Economics, etc., fall under the category of Varta. Economics, anything related to that. And all administrative systems, army, etc., all come under Dandaniti. So military science, is it not science? So the military, of course, all these topics are explained by our Acharya Kautilya. Now people think that Kautilya, what he has done is sample. He discussed all the Shastras. And he also made a promise also. Promise means made a statement very dearly. What he said is, Sarvashastrani Anukramya Prayogam Upalabhya cha. Kautilyena Narendrarthe Shasanasya Vidhikrutaha. I had gone through all the sciences, he said. He never said all the Puranas. He never said. He said all the sciences. So, like that, what he has done is he has explained all the things so nicely, and a sample base. He talks about geology. He talks about this mining. He talks about Ratna Pariksha. He talks about medicine, Ashu Mrutaka Pariksha, testing sudden death cases, whether it is accident or anything, murder or Ashu Mrutaka Pariksha, medical jurisprudence. So, like this, military science and under the part of military science about horses, elephants, and also the different types of lands, how to really, which is the suitable for horses, which is the suitable for elephants, and how to make proper roads. So, like this, the underneath is all science. Kautilya has explained. So, what does it mean? Ultimately, now we have to understand that all these sciences, I told the same in yesterday's lecture also in the college. I said all the sciences are directly available. Ratna Shastra is available. Ayurveda Shastra is, of course, all the sciences are available in Sanskrit. Fortunately, a few people who are purely Oriental background, they are not acquainted with English, of course, but they are proficient in Sanskrit Shastra Jnana. So now take a simple one lesson from you take something testing the soil or anything one lesson you take help of one Sanskrit scholar and also one English knowing person, like my English, not a very sophisticated Shakespeare English or anything, communicative purpose. So you just, get it translated and just introduce one lesson in civil engineering. And machines we have studied in Arthasastra, you take part of that, you just add in mechanical engineering and electrical and electronics. So Saviti was discussing with me. Electronics, etc. I know I really never come to that. And but Avadhanalu garu, he has discussed some physics topics, etc. Because physics also comes under the subject electronics that he has discussed. That means, it is not beyond the reach of people like me, but it is there because even Kalidasa has written Dhuma Jyoti Salila Marutam Sannipatakwa Megha, he says. So cloud, the properties of cloud, he says, Dhuma, Jyoti, Salila, Marut. Four are there. Four things are there in a cloud. One is a smoke, Dhuma, and then Jyoti, light, and water, then air. So it is the combination of uh, it is a combination of these four things Kautilya tells in a Mega Sandesha. So this is also science, and he describes different types of vanas, etc. There is science. That is the reason what our people Vidya Sthanani Chaturdasha etc. means. If you have already all of you are well acquainted with Ramayana and Mahabharata, if you go to Ramayana Lanka Nagara description, civil engineers get lot of material in that. But so far, I think never a lecture is given this from Ramayana. Really, here I can proudly say that my brother was means he is now late. So my brother was mining engineer, but he's IIT Kharagpur. He worked in Singareni Collieries, Mr. Sharma, C.K. Sharma. Many people know him. So actually, he was invited to give lectures to various universities. He really talked about Ramayana. He gave many lectures on Ramayana, many shlokas he quoted, and he was popularly known for his lectures. That means from Ramayana, there are so many things are available. You take the banners, how they were tied on the occasion of Rama's Pattabhisheka, and how the water sprinkled, etc. And Ashokavana description, and also Aranyakanda and Kishkinda, monkeys, their nature, their habits, their jumping. So Ramayana is the source of a totally knowledge system. It is actually the first knowledge system of India in a simple term, Sanskrit language. And then Mahabharata, what to talk of Mahabharata, Jalastambhana Vidya. Duryodhana knows, hiding in water for hours together, swimming. So I don't know now, maybe people can do, but swimming pools they are swimming, but Duryodhana was not in a swimming pool. So like this Gada Yuddha, all the weapons are there, so many that Dhanurveda, entire Dhanurveda references are available there. How arrows are made, how these weapons, and also Shatagnis, etc. This and now Shatagni we also use the same term. So all this is that is the reason Mahabharata is a knowledge, source of knowledge. Similarly, Panchakavyas. Take Raghuvamsha, see the description, how really they travel and etc. and the gardens that is there. And take Kumar Sambhava, Parvati was doing penance. And Bharavikirata Arjuniya, full political science is there. And also, like, there are the rule for the Mahakavyas is Nadi, Rutu, Shaila, etc. All Ashtadasha descriptions must be there. This is the condition. Therefore, the poets who are really intelligent, who are not Khanda Kavyas, not small Kavyas, not Gayas, not Gayas, but they have taken writing a Mahakavya as a challenge. So everyone tried to do that. And Magha also, you have, some of you have studied. So how beautiful Magha, Naishadam with Padaushadam, Naishada, and how an assembly should be arranged, and how the, guide, how the female friend in Naishadhiya and also Raghuvamsha introduce the kings. Now there are anchors, how they falter in the words, how they do, except that, only extravagant the dress code, half dress or full dress. Let us not bother about that. But there, directly Saraswati comes to describe in Damayanti Swayambara. And here, Sunanda, the friend of Indumati, she comes and explains how beautiful. Everyone, really everyone should read that Indumati Swayamvara Ghatta to understand, to face the interviews. I mean, without any nervousness. There, the mannerisms are described. How should people sit in the assembly? So the all who just sits like, with the broad chest, etc., placing the two hands on the chair. Indumati rejects them and goes. The commentator, particularly Malinatha, really very well explains why she has rejected him, because this is Avalakshana, this is Apalakshana, etc., etc. The beautiful context. Sometime really we can. Depending upon the choice of audience, we can read that also. That particular only one sarga, Indumati Swayamvara. So like this, and dramas also. I need not tell you about Mudra Rakshasa or anything. So this way, knowledge system, how it can be correlated. That was a question I said. Take a simple a part of management or tax system. Ramchandra sir has written tax system article also. So many are there. So take tax system. For example, in Arthasastra, now we are going to enter into that topic in a few days. So that actually general tax, they say 1/6 part is the share of king. That is the share of government. So they 16 plus plus like that. 16% only. Now why really they are collecting 30%? Those days, 16% only was the general tax. And on fruits, etc., they're different, less than that. It is introduced. On fruits, on flowers, on orchards, everything. So, like this, and how the tax exemption must be given to Gurukulas, etc. So, on agriculture, all this is there. So I said, you introduce quality. My article is there, quality control of commodities. So how commodities? It is. I told them there is no consumer forum. There was no consumer forum. There was no human rights committee. There was no child rights committee. Why? There was no need at all. Everything is king's responsibility. It is the responsibility of government, not going court. Government goes to court and people also go to court. It is not the case. Government is court. King is the chief justice. So every matter is to be settled there, and they should do justice. Now king is ruler is separate, judge is separate. Those days, two in one. The judge himself is the ruler. So naturally, where is the question of going wrong? Otherwise, he was dethroned like Nanda Vamsha. So this way, I just suggested them. When the question was raised in yesterday's that assembly, I simply told them, see, if you want to correlate the Indian knowledge system into your curriculum, there are topics. You take BA literature is there, wonderful treatises introduce. Okay, one lesson you introduce as Sanskrit that we are doing, take the translation of text into English. You introduce in English also. And then science, you want physics, you want chemistry, you want botany or zoology, all are there. Introduce one thing, either botany or physics or anything, MPC is there, BPC is there. According to the need of that, you just, prescribe one lesson. Only one lesson, a small part you take and introduce. Just, it is giving sample. If you are giving the chocolate taste, then automatically they'll buy more and more. And for commerce people, you introduce a portion of this. And economics, how beautifully economics explained by Kautilya, not only Kautilya. If we read the Sanskrit texts, automatically each kavya suggests. Direct sciences are there. I told yesterday, repeat it. If anybody is there, bear with me. I told him the same thing I am telling you also. Don't follow blindly the weird pundits, I said. These words I said, if any real scholars are different. Here, to support my statement, I quote Nilakanta Dikshita's shloka. He says, like, यदि कोऽपि विद्यायां न क्रमते च ते मनः, అదేంటి he says, like, mantrika or yatayo bhavishyama, something he says. No, let us not bother if we are not acquainted with any subject, any knowledge, we need not bother. We can become either saints or munis, etc., etc. And another shloka also he says that tavad ajnanato maunam, yavad ajnanato maunam acharya vilakshanava, something. Tavan mahatmya rupena paryavasyati mantrika. Now you see, the real great people, they knowledgeable people, they don't have any extra makeup. But some people apply very big bottu here and also bhasma. They and nowadays they are earlier days I never saw in my childhood. Big rudrakshas they wear, and that Nilakanta Deshta says you just cultivate some different specific style of your attire, then it becomes Mahatmya Rupena. Then you people think that you are a great mantrika, mantras perfectly. So like that, I told them the beard pandits, they tell you about Vastu, they tell you about Pura Jataka, etc. Please read Varaha Mihira's Press Samhita. There are hundreds of beautiful Sanskrit texts with the help of English persons or those who are real scholars. Go to them, study them, acquire knowledge. So, like this, so knowledge system everywhere. You go to Samarangana Sutradhara. I know only few shastras. Samarangana Sutradhara, you just read the list of the trees which are good for the construction of pillars, etc., etc. So, like this, what and how many types of lands are there? It is described in a Krishi Parashara and Vrukshayurveda, direct science with these are Vrukshayurveda, Krishi Parashara are available with English translation by our Madam Nalini Sadile, published by ICRISAT, Hyderabad. You try just in Google, and if you search in Google, there are hundreds of science texts. So that way you pick up one topic and then just introduce to the children with interest they read, and automatically that day by day, day by day, day by day, it really gets spread into Indian knowledge, Indian system, Indian education system. So this is actually Indian knowledge system. That means actually you can see that uh, to tell about Indian knowledge system. I do not know what type of syllabus they have prepared. I am asked to write a book by some university that is a Arthasastra. I do in my own way, but I don't know. But actually, this is for understanding. These are the sources of knowledge. All these are they come under Indian knowledge system. So this way, here you are knowledgeable people. What you have to do is whatever you know, please don't hesitate. As now I am taking whether persons come to listen or not. As I am really doing something via Zoom, you just you share your knowledge with the persons around you, whether they ask or not. Go on telling them. This way the knowledge gets spread, because I used to talk even to the auto person regarding that principles or something, because people really what they say appreciate those who talk less, but I don't take that type of name or fame for me. What I feel is I feel that God has given language to us. It is our basic duty to share whatever knowledge. Bad things anyhow we are sharing, so at least good things let us share. This is really my submission to all the persons here. So thank you for coming and attending this. So now anything anyone